Some of the brightest minds in AI have predicted we're going to have superhuman intelligence by 2027. That is 2 years from now. So you have a 24-month window to cash in on this boom before shit starts to get a little bit weird. And don't take my word from it. This is from researchers at OpenAI, from computer science masters at Harvard. In fact, you can read this study for yourself after this video. It's called the AI 2027 Prediction. I'll put a link in the description. It's going to blow your mind. But what I'm getting at is the window of opportunity is closing very quickly. And if you want to be one of the few that actually makes money in this era and comes out on top, then I want this video to act as a roadmap that gives you clarity on where to focus your energy and attention so you don't get lost in all of the distractions in the industry right now. Because I've mentored over 10,000 people over the past 8 years and helped them launch, build, and scale online businesses of their own. During that time, I've scaled 2 online businesses of my own, scaled to multi-7 figures, still own them to this day. But I'm not here to sell you something. I have no agenda in recording this video. In fact, last week I recorded a video sharing my open prediction about how online business is going to go in the AI space. Many of you responded very positively to that and asked for further steps. So I want to give you something tangible and give you some clarity on where to make your first steps as we come into this era. We're going to focus on 3 core pillars today. The first pillar is focus. The second is strategy, where I'm going to give you the tangible outline, the roadmap for what you should do with your time. And then the third is faith. And we'll start off with focus. I've got some notes in front of me. I don't want to miss anything for you today. And it's important I cover all of this. Look, focus is so important at the moment, and focus is harder than ever because everyone is so distracted in an AI era where new tools are dropping almost every single day. There are new updates to ChatGPT. We have agents. We're now in the agent era, and all sorts of different things are going to be coming up over the weeks and months. And so it's very hard to stay focused on one specific thing for a long enough time because we're always convincing ourselves, oh, well, that's the next big thing. That's what I need to jump on. This person's talking about that. This person's talking about this. And the issue with that is if we're always chasing something new, we're going to stay broke because money is in obsession. It's in deep focus. It's not in options, because in options, we allocate 10% of our time here, 10% of our time there, and we never really truly focus our energy and attention into one thing for long enough to actually build enough value in that one thing. It's like being a professional athlete, right? You might enjoy playing football, doing a bit of basketball, maybe even playing ping pong, but if you want to be a professional football player, you're playing football all the time. You're training football all the time. Very rarely are you going to have time to do those other things that may interest you. If you want to be a professional, if you want to be the best, you have to have hyper-focus in a specific area. You just simply do not have the time, energy to expense into multiple different things and actually win. And with AI iterating so quickly, it's more important than ever that we do or will have the ability to hone in our focus in one specific thing. So you need to pick one vehicle, one area, one domain, one marketplace. You want to go deep into that one thing, and you're going to refine through repetition of action and testing in that specific area. And I'm going to expand on exactly what that means and tangibly how you can do that. Because shiny object syndrome is what is going to kill your depth. Shiny object syndrome splits your energy and attention. If you don't have any depth, you're not going to create any intrinsic value, and you're going to stay on the surface level. And it's very, very easy to stay on the surface level in the era of AI, when we can just use ChatGPT to build out services, to deliver services, to create offers, and anybody can do that. But not many people can get enough depth in an industry by understanding one specific market for long enough to deeply understand their wants, needs, desires, and pains, most importantly, as a human being, to solve large-scale intrinsic or create large-scale intrinsic solutions which are worth a lot of money. You're going to stay on the surface level and never be able to analyze deeply enough. And it's the depth that we're trying to get to. If the focus is our gateway to depth in a specific market. So before we come into strategy, we've got to truly understand that focus is our gateway to depth in a market. Now, you will have heard of the dot-com boom, right? Let me tell you a story about it, because we're in a danger of history repeating itself here. 1998 to 1999, it's the birth of the internet. People are going crazy. Everyone wants a slice of that internet money, the dot-com. And so what happens is the stock market's going berserk. VC firms are investing left, right, and center. We have these really overinflated valuations of companies, in some cases that haven't even turned a profit yet. Companies like Amazon, who have just started in this era. Now, because of all these overinflated valuations, The money dries up and we end up having a boom. We have a crash, a burst of the bubble. The majority, like 90% of the market, gets completely wiped out. Many people never recover from this. But a few companies last and weather the storm. One of those companies is Amazon. Amazon, despite losing 90% of its stock value, persevered and focused on the thing it truly believed to be right. Customers. It focused on the end result. In fact, Amazon's philosophy was, if we have lower prices, we'll get more customers. If we get more customers, we're going to be able to test more. If we can test more, then we are going to feed that whole cycle and get more customers and appease. So they built these data warehouses, they invested in the technology, and now, of course, Amazon are the largest, or one of the largest companies in the world, valued at, I believe, $1.8 trillion. Colossal. Amazon are an example of a company in this gold rush where everybody wanted to come to something, just like AI right now. Everyone wants a slice of the pie. The companies that won, the ones that persevered, the ones that didn't get completely wiped out, are the ones that had hyper focus on one specific domain, just like Amazon. Amazon didn't pivot, they doubled down. What's happening right now with AI is many people are sitting on Product Hunt looking for the latest AI tool. Let me just see that. And they're playing with it. They're wasting their time. Do you know what? Playing around with AI tools is like, it's the new doom scrolling. It's the new short form content. Oh, another tool is out. Let me get on that. Whoa, this is crazy. And it's distracting them from the fundamental thing that matters the most, which is adding intrinsic value to a marketplace. And the people that are not obsessed over playing around with all the new tools, the people that are focused on just delivering to one specific marketplace, are the people that are going to win in this boom, in this era, okay? And it's only when things start to crash, when things start to get really fucked up, that people look back and they're like, oh shit, yeah, they've been doing that for years. Why didn't I think of that? So don't get distracted. Don't get shiny object syndrome. That is the first step to prime us into pillar 2, which is strategy. Now, I'm going to break down this strategy into 4 key stages. And this is relevant to you whether you already have a business or you're only just starting in the industry. So, stage 1 and 2 are really for people starting out. Stage 3 and 4 are if you're already established and how to pivot and make sure you maximize on this. So, stage 1 is if we're just starting, and let's just presume you don't have a company already, but you really do want to take advantage of this opportunity. The first thing we have to do is we have to understand that opportunity is scarce for us. We don't have opportunity around us, and so we have to seek it. So look at your past experiences, look at the jobs that you've had, look at your hobbies, and look at what unfair advantages you might have in a specific industry. Where have you already invested your time, where you've built knowledge in a specific subsection of society, enough for you to be able to understand their pain and maybe create solutions for them. So that's the first place to start. Do I have an unfair advantage? If yes, focus on that niche to start off with. If no, then you're going to have to go what I call scattergun. You're going to have to work with a number of different industries to really figure out where your opportunity lies. And that is absolutely okay. You're very quickly going to be able to learn that. Within 3 months, you'll be able to establish what your industry is going to be. So you are going to be starting a little bit further back from other people that already have that unfair advantage. Now, what are we going to offer? Well, the simplest thing that we can do is offer a simple service. A service that is already in demand to a very wide variety of people. Okay, we're going to start a service-based business, because why would we start a product business that's going to take us months to get ourselves off the ground? Why would we start a SaaS with no experience? We need to start the simplest business model that exists fundamentally, and that is offering a service to somebody else. Now, there are a wide variety of different services that we can offer, but ideally we want to offer a globally demanded AI-based service. Okay, now my suggestion to you would be some kind of AI sales service. Okay, so this might be AI lead generation, for example, where we run advertisement or post organic content or generate traffic for a business in any way, shape, or form. This could be SEO even. And we generate leads on behalf of that business. We use AI to help convert those leads so we free up the time from the business. This is without a doubt the most in-demand service in the world right now for general business growth. Now, quickly, I want to stipulate, when I talk about this service, every now and then 1 or 2 people will comment under a video and they'll say, well, that's all well and good for you to say because you just want to sell me on your course, your bias. If you feel that way, please do not buy anything I have to offer. I'm giving you this advice because I know it is the best path for you to take in order to get started in this industry. And in fact, if you take a step back and remove me from the equation at all, and you actually consider what the best path for you to take is independently, you'll come to the same conclusion yourself, that offering a simple service to someone is the lowest friction, and that service being something that is attached to AI that actually solves their pain. So just take me out of the equation if you feel that way, and know that I'm coming from a place of offering you something or teaching you something that is genuinely what is best for you if you want to make money in this era. It has nothing to do with what I do as a business, and I don't want you to buy from me. This video is built because I want to see people win, and I will hate to see people who follow me and watch my content get washed up in this era, because many people are going to get washed up. Okay. It's ridiculous that I have to stipulate that. You get it, whatever. Okay, let's just get into it. We're going to offer a simple AI service that actually solves people's pain, okay? We're going to cast a net wide, and we are going to build fast momentum and start learning what works, okay? We want to make our clients money. We want to get quick feedback. We want to gather case studies. We're going to gather testimonials. What we're really trying to gather is proof in the marketplace that we can do what we're saying we can do, and we can actually add value. We're starting to build momentum. So that is stage one, okay? We're going to build that initial momentum. Stage two is we're going to niche down. So when we start working with a number of different people, we're going to start to notice patterns. We're going to notice patterns across who is easier to serve, who it's easier to get results for, who we actually enjoy working with more. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick one vertical within those industries. That's going to be our one niche, okay? And we are going to live and breathe their pain. We are going to become the specialist. We're going to become obsessed with the problems that they face inside their business, because their problems are our ticket to building a successful AI business and making a lot of cash. Okay, so how do we do this? Some of you might be thinking, well, I'm already at this stage. I've already got a business where I'm offering a service, and I know exactly who I want to work with. Okay. How do you now then transition into adding more value and having more longevity in AI? The gateway drug to a deeper AI service is coaching calls. So if you have a service-based business right now, or an agency, or whatever you want to call it, then you want to start hosting coaching calls with your clients. These might be once a week, it might be once a month, but across every single client, if you're having 2, 5, 10, 15 different conversations every single month with the same industry through repetition, you're going to very quickly understand the wider pains that they are facing outside of your traditional service that you're offering, be that lead generation or whatever else, okay? And so on that coaching call, you're just going to open up for a very transparent chat about how your service is impacting other areas of the business. What other bottlenecks are they actually facing? What keeps them up at night? What are the things that are standing in the way of them achieving their goals in their company? And over time, over a series of not even months, weeks, through speaking to your clients, you're going to get a lot of ideas on how you can start solving those problems with AI. Because here's the reality. Most businesses are so stuck in the day-to-day, so stuck doing what they've always done, that they don't have the time and the clarity, the mental energy in order to invest into looking into AI and considering how they could solve these problems themselves. They've got a deep-rooted desire to solve these problems, because why wouldn't we want to escape from pain? But they don't have the ability or the time to do it themselves. And so you, as the agency or the service provider that's working with them, that's now coaching them, it's understanding their situation, are perfectly equipped to offer to solve these problems. So how do we solve these problems? Initially, we can use tools like ChatGPT. We can create custom GPT systems. We might want to create automations on tools like N8N. But the key is we don't want to go ahead and offer these services for money. When we are testing out these pain solutions, these initial iterations, these initial advancements, we want to offer them for free, because we want to just through a rapid iteration, a wrapping testing period, understand which things are actually worth exploring. Because the truth is, you're probably going to build a number of different solutions, and most of them won't be that viable until you find one or two that, through the majority of your clients, through testing, you feel pretty confident that you've got something, okay? And you're only going to get that through hyper-focus on working with a niche and through testing. Once you've actually tested, once you've got validation from the clients that this is actually solving their pain, that they love it, then you can start charging those clients. Then you can start charging new clients and sell them on it, at which point you have a product market fit and you know you're actually onto something. And that leads us on to stage 3. Now, before I jump into stage 3, which is building intellectual property, building IP, this is where we build the real value. This is how you'll build true wealth in this area. I want to quickly tell you a story about an agency that's currently going through this that we mentor. This is a guy called Nico from Dentology. Now, Nico started an agency about 18 months ago in the dentist niche, a niche which is incredibly busy. Most agencies try and reach out to dentists and they offer generic services like lead generation. Nico went for this niche. It took him 12 months to hit $7,500 a month. Okay, that's a pretty long time to hit $7,500 a month. Okay, but within 4 months after that, he hit 25K. 1 month after that, he hit 50K. So he had this slow growth because the niche is saturated and it's hard to get his foot in the door. And then all of a sudden, he's had this rapid growth and he's going to scale to over 100K a month within the next 4 to 6 months conservatively in his agency. His only bottleneck now is hiring enough people to be able to sustain the scale. How has he done that? He's hit them from a new angle. He's come to them with an AI-enabled offer. Initially offering them an AI appointment setting service because when dentists generate leads, their secretary has to handle all of those leads and secretaries aren't really sales trained. And the most important thing when we're handling leads is speed to lead. It's getting a hold of those leads as quickly as possible. And again, the secretary they're calling about once an hour. If they don't get hold of them, maybe they call them the next day. The leads are all going cold. And so what Nico does is he will call those leads on the dentist's behalf and they will book appointments for the dentist. And so dentists love this. It's new, it's innovative, it's solving pain that other people couldn't solve beforehand, which is why he's been able to take off. Now, Nico has been working with this niche for long enough that he is now working on a software-based solution which solves a much bigger pain for dentists, which is going to be his moat. It's going to truly make him irreplaceable for the businesses he's working with. And I'm not going to talk about what that is because it's unfair to his business, but we'll talk about it in a future video. He's only now able to build that software solution for these agencies, an AI software solution, because he's been deeply embedded in them and has been hyper-focused for long enough to truly understand their pains. And then in the future, he'll be able to sell that intellectual property that he's built for a massive multiple, far more than he would be able to sell just a conventional marketing agency. So that leads me on to stage 3, which is building intellectual property. Once we have proven a new solution to the marketplace, we want to productize that solution. So initially, it's going to be us creating automation or creating creating process on behalf of the client. But over time, we want to be able to turn that into a tangible product, which we can bring to the wider market, okay, to the wider niche. And so that might look like building a custom SaaS solution. That could be a done with you SaaS where people sign up and they use the service themselves for their own business. Or it could be a done for you SaaS where they sign up and they get this service implemented on their behalf. But what we're doing is we're creating this perceptual bubble by wrapping this automation or this flow, this workflow with a visual front end, a software front end. And now this becomes our intellectual property. We branded it, it's got a name, it's unique to us, it's our unique mechanism as a business. And what this does is takes you as a service provider from a company that is worth 4 to 6 times your profit, your EBITDA, which is your profit, earnings before tax, depreciation, and amortization. And it turns you into a tech-enabled business where you could get multiples up to 24 to even 40x if we look at the average multiples of AI technology businesses in 2024 of revenue, not profit, 24 to 40 times multiple of revenue. And you get to take advantage of these overinflated valuations. So you're now in the game of multiplying value considerably because you're now tech-enabled. And you were only able to achieve this by staying hyper-focused, borderline obsessed with a specific industry for a long enough time. By not getting shiny object syndrome and looking at other niches and looking at other services, looking at other tools, by focusing on one specific vehicle and applying AI to that vehicle, the latest in AI technology, so you can become a tech-enabled business and then exit to either a conglomerate agency or venture capital who are eating up businesses at this time. Now, when you do come to exit, you can take multiple bites of the apple. What does this mean? This means you can sell not even 100% of your business to start off with. You might sell 90% of your company, get a couple of million in the bank, or even better yet, 10 million plus, depending on the value in which you build, depending on the revenue level at the time that you sell 90%, get capital for yourself, retain 10%, and ride that all the way to the top or all the way to the bottom. Because right now, we can't predict what is going to happen. That is one thing that is for sure with AI. None of us can predict. We can speculate based on history, based on the dot-com boom, based on seeing other businesses in the past. But none of us truly know whether it's going to go all the way up or it's going to crash. The likelihood is there's going to be some kind of correction. But why wouldn't you want to keep a little bit of skin in the game? Sell the majority of the company, retain a little bit, ride the wave, and you're going to be part of that enjoyment, but you've still got the stacks in the bank. And that is how you cash out in this era. We focus in a market. We go scattergun, we identify our market, our niche, we hyper-focus on that niche, and we build initial stage testing services through coaching calls with the clients, and we identify deeper pain. Then we productize that service into something more tangible like a SaaS, either done with you or done for you, and we get a great exit multiple riding the inflation that AI has for us in the market over the next few years. Now, that's all very idealistic, right? It's easy for me to say, but the truth is, it ain't going to be easy. In fact, it's going to be very difficult. You're going to have to sacrifice your time. You're going to have sleepless nights, worry. You're going to question whether or not this is all worth it. You're going to question whether you are even cut out for this. You might have even gone through some of those feelings yourself. But the facts remain that anything worth having in life is not easy. Because if it was, everybody would have it. So you're going to need to build a lot of resilience. And even more than resilience, you're going to have to build a lot of faith. And that's the third pillar, is faith. Strategy alone won't just cut it. Knowing the steps and hyper-focus and obsession over those steps alone won't be enough. You need faith, and through that faith, belief. And I want to give you some mental frames that will help you alongside that, help you curate the kind of life that you want to create, and make the commitment enough to actually materialize it. So I'm going to recommend a resource to you, and it's a book. It's called Reality Transurfing. I don't have an affiliate link. This actually is, if I only ever recommended one book for somebody to read, it would be this book. This book single-handedly will change your life and change your belief systems, because you're going to need a lot of belief when you're stepping into, and don't get me wrong here, you're going to be stepping into a market, the most competitive market in the world. And if it isn't yet, it's going to be the most competitive market in the entire world. And so to win in that kind of arena, you have to have an unwavering faith and belief in your ability to make it happen. And I would give you a couple of frames from Reality Transurfing, and then you can go and read it yourself. It's a behemoth, but I would recommend embarking. What better way to embark on a new journey of a few years of self-discovery and hard work starting a business than to start off by reading a 750-page book alongside. The audio book's 36 hours. Spend an hour a day. Spend half an hour a day. Microdose that book until it's ingrained in your mind. Now, one of the main frames you're going to take from this book is that life is a mirror. The universe is a mirror of ourselves and of our subconscious, what we tell ourselves, what we think about ourselves. One of my favorite quotes in the world is "Change your thoughts and you change your world" by Norman Vincent Peale. And that really means whether you think you can or you can't, you are right. Whether you think you are or you're not, you are right. The universe is a mirror, and our thoughts control our reality. And so what is really going to dictate whether or not you're capable of actually achieving this, of actually being one of the people that stay out on top in this AI era, is whether or not you actually believe that you can, whether or not you have unwavering faith in your ability. You need to set the intention of what you want to achieve. Set a goal. I want to have this exit. I want to have this business. I want to have this level of freedom, whatever that might be for you. And don't let somebody else dictate your goals. It has to be truly yours. You have to know in yourself, it has to feel right in your gut. It has to be completely aligned in the gut that this is your goal and not someone else's, not someone you've seen on Instagram, not some flashy lifestyle that you aspire to. It has to truly be yours. And then set the intention to achieve it. Think about it, embody it, and know it is already yours. And most importantly, don't just create a delusional sense of self and think, okay, well, if I just think about it, then through the law of attraction, I can just bring it into my life like a magnet. No, the thoughts are the precursor to action. Set the intention and take the actions and know that it's already yours. But let go of excess importance. Excess importance is where we put too much importance on achieving something, where too much rides on achieving that one thing. And when too much rides on that thing, we need it and we're desperate for it. And that's where we make silly mistakes. That's where we rush things. That's where we jump around and we bunny hop and we get shiny object syndrome. That's when we lose our clarity. This isn't going to be an easy path to achieving your specific goal, but excess importance is a sure way to make it a hell of a lot harder and to increase the odds that you're not going to achieve that thing in the first place. So set your intention, set your goal, know that it's already yours, create an unwavering belief and a stoic mindset towards the things you have to do in order to get there, and take that path. Remain liquid, be okay with alternative lifelines, be okay with alternative paths to get to that end state. Know that from where you are now to where you want to be, there are many different paths that you can take to get there. Many different lifelines. Be okay with taking different paths. Be able to switch lanes as long as they are all moving towards that specific intention that you have set in yourself. And don't put too much importance in it. And with that energy, you'll be able to stay focused for long enough in your specific field, eliminating distraction, so you can create depth of knowledge and understanding enough to create real value in a specific marketplace that you can exit for serious cash, or just make a lot of cash flow in the meantime. Cool. That's it from me. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.